Hello everyone and welcome to Hotrich, where you come to get amazed. Deep beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean, a man clung to life in a tiny air pocket. The darkness was absolute and the silence was deafening. His heart raced with fear as he struggled to catch his breath. He had no idea how much time had passed since the boat he was on had capsized. But he knew it had been too long. The lack of food and water was taking its toll on its body, and his mind was starting to play tricks on him. He thought of his family, of the life he had left behind. He thought of all the things he still wanted to do, all the places he still wanted to see, but mostly he thought of survival. He clung to hope like a lifeline, praying for a miracle. This is the story of Harrison Okene, a man who survived 3 days at the bottom of the ocean. Against all odds, it is a story of courage, of strength, and of the unshakable will to survive. In this video, I will tell you how this man was the most fortunate and unfortunate man on earth at the same time. Harrison was working as a cook on a tugboat that was traveling off the coast of Nigeria. Tugboats actually play a very crucial role in maritime operations. These sturdy vessels with the powerful engines and robust structure navigate the bustling waters with finesse and strength. Serving as workhorses of the sea, tugboats assist in a wide array of tasks, from towing massive cargo ships to providing crucial support during offshore drilling operations. Their presence is especially notable during inclement weather when their expertise becomes vital in maneuvering through treacherous storms. These reliable and dependable workhorses stand tall as guardians of the Nigerian coastline, ensuring the smooth, safe passage of vessels and contributing to the nation's thriving maritime industry. On 23rd May 2013, it was another normal day of Harrison's life. He was present in the kitchen of the tugboat following his daily work schedule. The tugboat was on the task of towing a massive cargo ship, and on the fateful day of May 23rd, the weather conditions of the Nigerian coast were far from pleasant. Dark clouds loomed overhead, and the fierce winds whipped across the surface of the sea. The waves surged with tremendous force, creating a dangerous environment for anyone navigating the waters. Unfortunately, it was during these treacherous conditions that the tugboat carrying Harrison Okene and his fellow crew members found itself in grave danger. The relentless assault of water waves proved too powerful for the vessel, causing it to be tossed and ultimately destroyed. Plunging to the unforgiving depths of the seabed, it was amidst the chaotic and unpredictable weather that Harrison Okene's harrowing struggle for survival began. Trapped in the darkness and uncertainty of the sunken wreckage, Harrison began rushing through the ship but found many of the doors were locked to prevent pirates from entering. He became trapped inside a toilet in the officer's cabin as water poured into the ship and could not escape as the ship began to sink to the bottom of the sea. Harrison tried to find his way out of the underwater maze, but to no avail, using a rope to find his way back to his air pocket when he ran out of breath. Being trapped in the cold and in only his underwear, with dwindling air and no food, Harrison was in huge danger of carbon dioxide toxicity, as well as facing thirst, hunger, and hypothermia. The thought of being trapped in a tiny air pocket, deep beneath the sea, is absolutely terrifying. The darkness is absolute, the silence is deafening, and the only sound you can hear is the sound of your own breathing. With no food or water, and no way of knowing when help will arrive, the desperation and fear must be overwhelming. Being trapped in such a confined space with no room to move or even stand up must feel like being buried alive. The darkness and isolation can lead to feelings of hopelessness and despair, and the lack of any external stimuli can cause the mind to play tricks on itself. But despite the odds stacked against him, Harrison refused to give up. He knew that he had to stay alive no matter what, and so he did the only thing he could do. He kept moving. Using a rope to guide him, he made his way through the pitch-black, debris-filled water until he found another air pocket. This time it was the engineering office. Harrison was relieved to find that there was more space here and he could finally stand up. He also found a few supplies that would help him survive a little longer, including a bottle of Coke and a mattress that he used to keep him warm. For the next few days, Harrison huddled in the engineering office drinking Coke and waiting for the rescue. He had no idea if anyone was looking for him or if he would ever be found, but he never lost hope. He prayed for a miracle and he believed that he would be saved. The oxygen in the air pocket was limited. However, since the air pocket was relatively small, the amount of oxygen present would have been sufficient for a short period of time. According to experts, a person can survive for up to 3 days in an air pocket, as long as they have access to some form of sustenance, such as water or soft drinks. Harrison was fortunate enough to have a few drinks with him, which helped sustain him for the duration of his ordeal. After so much pain and trauma, finally his prayers were answered. Finally, on third day of his ordeal, Harrison heard a sound that filled him with hope. It was the sound of someone knocking on the hull of the sunken vessel. Harrison immediately began knocking back using a hammer to make as much noise as possible. He knew that this might be his only chance to be rescued, and he was determined to make the most of it. As he knocked, he shouted for help, hoping that someone would hear him and come to his aid. His prayers were answered when a team of divers heard him and were able to locate him. After the tugboat sank, it came to rest at a chilling depth of approximately 30 meters below the surface of the sea. This added to the complexity and danger of the rescue mission. Recognizing the challenges involved in bringing Harrison Okene safely to the surface, the divers utilized a specially designed diving bell. This ingenious device helped maintain the pressure surrounding Harrison's body during the ascent. By carefully controlling the pressure inside the capsule, the divers ensured that Harrison wouldn't suffer from decompression sickness or other related health complications. This innovative approach provided a lifeline for Harrison, allowing him to safely transition from the darkness of the seabed to the light and air above, ultimately securing his remarkable survival and inspiring people around the world. Harrison's story is truly an amazing tale of survival, courage, and hope. We hope that this story has inspired you as much as it has inspired us. At Hotrich, we strive to bring you incredible stories like this one that showcase the best of humanity and the human spirit. So if you want to see more amazing stories like this, make sure to subscribe to Hotrich. We promise to continue bringing you the most awe-inspiring, heartwarming and jaw-dropping stories from around the world. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.